What's up?
Yeah, y'all know what it is. TkDaPoet. You already know, so you ain't got a yeah. We got some music for y'all. We're going to jam out one time before we get started. Let's jam out one time. Y'all already know. Y'all see what's behind me?
Into his grave, now my family safe, ain't no safe way. If you didn't come with me, then I had to leave. If you wasn't there, then you couldn't believe. There's nothing that I couldn't achieve. My shirt on, can't wear my heart on my sleeve. I see you plotting, had to get to drop. Pull up to your spot, pull out the Glock. Cold beat metallic, post up and spin the block. 3, 2, 1, had to take the last shot. Father, forgive me, I know I had sin. Coming from a film, I would do again. I'm a right, so I'm comfortable with the pen. Can't lose, all I know is win. And you know when it's over when your soul in the sky and it's over when it anywhere where you know begin. You know my motto, let them all go, bought my family in. Stop getting love about my dividends. Leave my money up front, no back end. No love, lost the way back in. Get the money with you or with tonight. Get the fucking whip with the box. Your corn, I ain't get up in the stock. Left everybody went straight to the sky. Don't care like me or like me. Be the out, spin the box. Ain't gonna stop till see them all drop.
Yeah, man. Y'all already know what it is. That's TkDaPoet. Had to play y'all little music, jam out one time. But I'm gonna bring my co-host to the stage, Jay. Hey, come to the flow, man. Hold on. Add to the stage. Here we go, man. What's up with it, man?
Man, not a whole lot, man. Hey, let me just go ahead and start off. I'm just going to apologize to the algorithm. I think we made the YouTube overlords and overseers mad, so we're going to put out an apology to the YouTube overseers real quick.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, we don't even have episode 7 no more. It is gone. Like, like I try to put a appeal out. Look, let me tell y'all what happened though. So, YouTube had strike me, you know, because we were talking about, 18. Let me say that, you know, we was talking about 18. If y'all can catch the lingo, hey, we was talking about 18. So, they told us that what we were saying was offensive. You know, they was like, say, you can't be talking about that. You know, so they banned us for a week. You know, so we couldn't even get up on here and do our usual 10 for your cap, talk. So, if y'all looking for episode 7, it's gone. I don't know what to tell you. YouTube took
it. History. It's history. Who y'all that were there, y'all saw it. It was there. It's gonna go from 6 to 8. 7's gone.
7 is gone, man. Hey, we found out that we're gonna have to use code words because they listening. They listening,
they're
man.
Listening. They're listening. No matter how small you are, they're listening.
Look, hold on, let me mute that. There we go. Hey, so we here today. So what we gonna speak about today? Hey, before we get into that, Jake, how was your week, man?
Man, it was all right. It was all right, man. Been laying low. Went and saw some shows. Got another show coming up. Can go see some of these. Went and saw some legends. Saw 3-6 Mafia. Jelly Roll's been blowing up. Saw him over the weekend. And there's this new cat out of Bay City over near Houston, over off the Gulf. This new guy, that Mexican OT, he's been blowing up huge right now. So, gonna go catch one of his shows this weekend.
I mean, shout out to him. Because I like the kid. Put him on when he started rapping, I'm like, he can rap. He's
Yeah.
rapping.
Dude's got
Like,
a
okay,
unique sound
he
too.
got his own little, yeah, he got his own little flavor, his own little style, man. Man, shout out
Yeah.
to him though. But man, tell me about the couple shows that you've been to. What was your experience like, and what shows did you went to go see?
Wild, man. Wild times. Uh, a couple months, last month, earlier beginning of this month, Labor Day weekend, went to Oklahoma. Saw some rock legends, some metal
Mm,
gods. It was heavy,
mm,
man. It was
mm.
definitely experience. We were out there for the whole weekend, camped out. Wake up, start drinking for breakfast. Walk out to the shows, and then stay hydrated on some beers until it's time for bed. It was a
How
good
long was
time.
the shows? How long was the shows?
From noon to about 10, 11 at night.
Damn.
Yeah, it was wild, bro. There was two stages, and they would just alternate back and forth. So there was always music. You know.
You said 12, like in the afternoon?
Yeah, 12. It was pretty much 11, 12 hours of music every day.
Damn, that's a long time. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hold you.
It was an experience, man. And it's one of those things, you get your wristband, and we had a campground that was on site, so we could just walk back and forth, come and go as we please. So, we weren't out there the whole 11 hours every day. We went, just scoped out the shows we wanted to see, and, kicked it back at the campsite.
Mm.
It was a party. It was a party no matter where you were that whole weekend. You go back to the campsite, there's folks, they built entire bars, at their campsite. You got people walking around with handles of liquor, passing out shots and throwing beads. It was a wild time, man. It was a wild
So
time.
what was your favorite show?
Man, that's hard to say. You know, every night there were wild closers. First night, Godsmack closed that night. Second night, Limp Bizkit closed that night. So it's like you got old
Wow.
legends,
Damn.
And then the very
Limp
last
Bizkit, I
night,
haven't heard
Sunday,
that
it
name in
was
a while though.
yeah, man. And he was out there talking some shit. It was kind of funny.
Oh yeah?
He was kind of pissing the crowd off talking. He was. I think because he was on stage talking shit about mainstream media. So I think it's one of those things that
Mm.
it's reaching. I think these older folks ain't afraid to talk about that kind of shit no more. So he
No.
was up there talking shit about TikTok and Facebook, social media, Fox, CNN, NBC, all them.
Damn.
So it was pretty wild. Yeah, he just went up there and just kind of shit on all them and kept the show flowing. It was pretty nice. But I think the last night was probably my favorite. We saw Rob Zombie and Pantera.
Mm.
Pantera, the old Texas boys. So that
Yeah.
was a good time. That was a real good time.
Man.
Plus
And
we're
you
out there
said
in Oklahoma.
you say you went to go see 3 6 Mafia?
Yeah, that was this past weekend. We went and saw 3 6
Okay.
Mafia. Yeah, there was they opened up for Jelly Roll, which was kind of wild. But they're all Memphis dudes. They're all from
Mm.
Memphis.
Yeah.
They're all from Tennessee actually. I think Jelly Roll's from a different part of Memphis, but like one of the suburbs or some shit. But it was a good time, man. It was like a whole Memphis show basically. Struggle Jennings opened the show. Uh, he played some of his shit. And then 3 6 came out. They played all their songs are classics. All their songs are
Yeah.
classics. So but it was wild. They went way back to the deep cuts, and they were playing 666 Mafia. So that was
Mm.
pretty tight. Like they went all the way
Yeah.
back. That was real cool. That
Mm.
was real cool. Then the first white artist that they ever signed, this dude Little White, they brought him out
Yeah.
on stage. He did a couple of his songs. That was real badass. And then they just keep their show going. And anytime they had features, they'd bring out that artist. It was wild. Like Little Flip
Yeah.
came out. He did his
Mm.
verse on Riding Spinners. It was a good time, man. It was a real good time. Juicy J was calling for a mosh pit the whole time, but I don't think
Did
it
it
was
did
a
it
3 6
happen?
crowd. Nah,
Oh, it
nah,
wasn't a
it
three
wasn't a
six.
3-6 crowd. Yeah, yeah, I was back in the seats. Had I been up there in the pit, yeah, I would have got it. I would have got it moving.
Dang.
But
So I mean
it was
that's
cool,
pretty
man.
wild though.
Yeah, it
I'm
was a good time.
surprised they brought out a little flip now. I mean, having a show and they bringing out like because you rarely see that they rarely bring out the people that's on that track. They just play their verse and
Yeah,
skip over it. But for them to bring a little flip out, hey, that was what's up. Shout out
man,
to
it
the
was a
little
sold
flip,
out
man.
show. Yeah, it was a sold out show. And man, it was. They had cameras all around. Not only did they have the stage cameras, but they had some extra cameras. And every now and then they point the camera out and be like, "Look, y'all, we're filming this for TV." Blah blah blah. So
Mm,
I think they may be putting it. Maybe I'll hit the documentary, blow the show
mm,
up a little bit.
yeah.
So we'll see
Like,
what
hey,
happens.
one
But it
day
was
I'm
it
gonna
was a
be
good
on that
time.
stage rocking out with the millions. You feel me?
I'm
Hey,
telling you, man.
TkDaPoet. Hey, y'all see this in the background? I am him. It's get ready to drop. I know I said it's coming out in September, but hey, we sorry for the wait, as Little Wayne say. Sorry for the wait, but it's gonna come out maybe December, or whatever, whatnot. So I think we got Jake. Oh, yeah, we got you. I thought you froze for a little bit, Jake. But while we get this situated, while Jake, doing his the freeze, man, wait until he get back. But let's talk about a couple things before we get into the main topic of why we're here. I know y'all seen the headlines, China, and Jake he gonna talk about what we got going on with that. But here to tell you, hey, we finna drop more podcasts. We gonna start our own radio show. The mix. Look out for that. We got 10 for your count. We're gonna bring Portrait After Dark back. We're gonna bring Real Talk back. Hey, and we got more entertaining stuff that's going on. But hey, it's time to give them what they asking for, Jake. What's up with
Man,
China? What's up
let's
with
get
China?
into it,
Let me
man.
know. What's up with China, man?
All right, look. So before we get into China, we gotta, we'll get there. This
All
starts back in
right, all right.
Vietnam. So
Mm,
this starts all the way back the Vietnam War, actually. So what we're talking about today is cloud seeding.
mm,
Weather manipulation. For a long time, the government said we don't mess with the weather. We don't have that ability. But at the exact same time, they're doing cloud seeding, which is altering the state of clouds to force rain, force snow, steer hurricanes, cause earthquakes potentially, all kinds of shit. I say we probably shouldn't be messing with. And let me go ahead and say, first of all, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a
allegedly.
scientist, I'm not a lawyer, so man, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I do know
Nah,
I
for
read some
real.
shit sometime, so that's what I'm talking about today. So
Yeah, and this is all allegedly. We don't know for facts. We just
yeah,
reporting what we research and other people have said, and these are going on the tensions of what other people have said. We don't haven't seen it for our eyes to know for a fact. So all of this is allegedly. We just reporting what we have researched. So
very much
disclaimer.
so, very much so. And I'll drop all the links to all this information I got in the comments section. So if anybody, wants to pull this stuff up later, you'll see where I'm reading this stuff at. So I'm not just making this up. This is real shit. So back during the Vietnam War,
Allegedly,
our
allegedly.
government allegedly, you know, our government allegedly were, they were trying to plan a way to force the weather there to continue. So in Vietnam,
Hold on.
they
Before we get too deep in this, we have to bring up Mister T Youngblood. Uh, he's in the backstage. We're gonna bring him up real quick.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
what's
what's
going
going on?
on? What's going
what's
on?
fellas was good, fellas back off the fence, man. So good to be back. Sorry
Yeah,
for the day, but I am there.
I mean, we can barely hear you.
Hey, let me find out what y'all talking about.
yeah.
Hey, no, for real, for real. We got the headlines. China, man. Jake finna drop some information on us, and we gonna try to see what's to it. So Jake,
Okay.
go ahead, go ahead and drop them bombs for us, man. I ain't got the
Man,
bomb sound. Hold on, let me see. No, I ain't got the bombs. I ain't got the bombs right now.
so let's see. So we'll jump into it. Operation Popeye. That's what they called it. And this is something that people can look up. This was, this is real for, these are real things that happened. This was, Operation Popeye was a real thing. This was something that our government was messing with. They did declassify this information, so it's free to the public. I'm not telling anybody anything new. I'm not bringing out anything that shouldn't be brought up. So this is, free information people can find here. But Operation Popeye, this was the United States government trying to extend the monsoon season in Vietnam. These monsoons are extremely deadly when they happen, but they know when they're going to hit, and they usually, the people of Vietnam, they know how long they're going to last, so they can prepare for it. The United States government, I say we, I was never there, I wasn't a part of this shit. The United States government wanted to extend this monsoon season, flood the area out, and try to make it real hard for travel in every aspect. So whether that be moving supplies, moving people, whatever that may be, just regular everyday living. They were just trying to make it pretty miserable there before we sent our folks over, and seemed to work pretty well until the newspapers got wind of what was going on. This started being reported on, and because at that time it wasn't known. It was known that we could seed clouds, we could drop dry ice into clouds and force snow or hail. We could, shoot rockets into clouds and cause it to rain. We could fly planes through clouds and drop different chemicals, silver iodide and carbon black and different things like that could force precipitation. So these are things that the government since 1946 have been messing with, which is public knowledge. It's public knowledge now that we have the ability to, cause snow, cause rain, move clouds. There's 8 states in the United States right now that use cloud seeding technology to force rain for their crops. Idaho Power, one of their main things is figuring out how can we reduce our cost of watering our crops. And they figured out, well, we can just make it rain, force clouds to rain more, we can water less. So it sounds like a good idea, but if we are making it rain here, are we pulling water from this area over here that may need it? So that's kind of what some people wonder, is that what's causing wildfires in some areas? Because they would usually get rain, now they get no rain. Or is that what causes major flooding and tornadoes and hurricanes in some areas? Because just going back to Operation Popeye real quick, eventually when the newspapers found out what was going on, because of the Pentagon Papers, all this information was released, and there was a lot of Americans were upset about this. They thought that we were geoengineering things, because when you start messing with weather, you may be messing with the entire planet. There may be a huge butterfly effect there, and that's, if a butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon rainforest, does that cause tornadoes here in the United States? And here in Texas kind of deal. So it's one of those, I don't think that's something we should really be messing with. It's nature. But at the end of Operation Popeye, there were treaties that had to be signed because they said that this is dangerous. We can't use weather in warfare. We can't weaponize the weather. So they had to sign a treaty between all these countries saying that we will not steer hurricanes, we will not cause earthquakes, we will not flood people out. We cannot cause permanent environmental damage. So these were things that were a part of this peace treaty. I'm trying to see exactly what it was named, but basically this peace treaty came into effect. The Environmental Modification Convention. That's what they called it. It was an international treaty. Bars any action undertaken by military or otherwise hostile forces that could result in earthquakes, tsunamis, an upset in the ecological balance of a region, changes in weather patterns, clouds, precipitation, cyclones of various types, and tornadic storms. So it's one of those things. Governments basically had to come in and tell each other, hey, we won't throw earthquakes at you. We're not going to throw any tornadoes at your country because that would be a bad thing to do. So this was back in the 70s whenever the United Nations had come to this agreement. So this was in the past. They said, we're not going to do that no more. Operation Popeye was officially ended. This was way back when. Cloud seeding hasn't stopped though. So the government
Man, you know what though? I didn't want to interrupt you, but
yeah,
that sounds kind of crazy when we always say the weatherman can't even predict the weather, but you telling me that at a point of time the government was able to control the weather if it rains, snow, ice, and they used it for military purpose. Man, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of wild. I ain't gonna hold you.
So not only did they have the ability before, but we still use this now. We just don't officially use it in times of war. So we do still, and that's what they say. They say that the weatherman can't tell the weather. I think that he's almost always right because we are creating the weather. I think that's how they're able to be so spot on with this because we're making the weather.
So I got a question for Mr. T Youngblood. Do you believe or what's your thoughts on it, man? Can you recognize the weather? I mean, if you in war making rain, that can't get crossed. You got the upper hand because you are like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's something I don't really understand. Like scientific playing with the weather and the astronomical and all that stuff. Man, that's myself. Gotta get up in the trees to be able to understand the children, from the ground.
Look, that's kind of crazy. If you in war, I can make it hell on you.
Like that is
what?
Crazy.
Like,
yeah, I'm gonna send earthquakes to your downtown. Like,
yeah.
Like I ain't never that's the first time me even hearing that like you can weaponize the weather and they banned it because shit that's really detrimental. If I can control the weather, shit. I'll make it rain for 40 days and 40 nights.
And
rain.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Man.
And
so I got a question for you, Mr. T Youngblood. You've been in the military, and I know a lot of stuff is classified. But have you seen something like crazy like that go on? Like, now I'm not saying that same like manipulating the weather, but have you seen anything crazy like you've never seen before? A tactic?
They can shoot a motor, and we had our weapons surveillance.
Hold on for a second. Let me try something. Say that again, Mr. ATM.
Said, damn. It was when they were shooting the motors in the surveillance system would shoot it down. It was like boom, boom, boom. It just looked like fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I wish I was overseas and I could see some crazy shit like that because like, and I know we was talking about earlier, you know, me and you was on the phone, we was talking about like how people view America versus how we view these other countries. You know, like how we'll go over there and say that we're trying to assist them, but what's going on in their mind? Do they feel like we're trying to take over, or is it the United States allegedly? I mean, do they have the same point of view as what we looking at? Like Mr. ATM, you been overseas. Do you think they have a different perception about America?
They definitely do. They definitely
Mm,
do. We get everything. We got everything made, and it's due to the fact that we always speak of the land of the free. We free, 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 but we only know that we truly ain't free. But they don't know that. They just see what they see us doing on TV. So
mm,
what they project what the American culture of the basketball, how we just sitting in games, like they got to go through certain different loopholes just to be able to attend a game over there. Like we can
mm,
just give our money and go right on in. They gotta get permission from different peers and all that. Like, yeah, we take a lot of things for granted over here. Yeah, if you go actually overseas and see how people living over there, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I better stop complaining. I better stop complaining
mm,
because I've lived in places where shit, South Dallas looked like a luxury hotel. Come on now.
mm.
You can start down, it look a luxury compared to the spot that I was at. Yeah. Like these people staying in 100, it's 124 degrees outside out there, and they don't got no AC. They don't got no windows. It's just a apartment building with no windows, bro. Like,
Mm.
is everything gone? No electricity, stuff like that. They eating rice and fufu every freaking day. Different things like that. Like, we should be grateful over here, but we always complaining.
Mm.
So,
Look, I ain't never look. So they probably think that Americans are spoiled.
yeah, basically, that's why they look down upon us because it's
Mm,
believe we get everything, we got everything. When they come over here, why you think they seem to always excel more than Americans? Because they're coming from nothing,
nothing.
and they see over here, and they like, really, y'all don't want to go chase that dream because you're too lazy. I'll do it. That's exactly
Mm.
how they. Americans is lazy compared to the foreigners. That's why the foreigners seem to always get here to America and succeed.
But I mean, I don't know. This is what I've heard allegedly. Like they get grants and get money from coming over here, and they start their business. But like we don't get no startup funds. If we want to start up business, we got to work on our credit and apply for loans, and they automatically get it when they get here allegedly.
That's because they American feel like it's something. Yes, Americans backwards to tell you true, bro. Like I don't like the fact that we continue to keep funding this bullshit ass proxy war allegedly. We keep on funding this war, and over $33 billion when we got people over there in Iowa, I mean Hawaii, done burned down and shit, and you giving them $700. Or when we was going through the damn COVID and all that shit, it took the Republican president to start the stimulus checks. Have you
Mm-hmm.
received Biden been in?
Mm-mm. At all.
And he was talking about I'm gonna continue to stimulus check funding and monthly funding. People forgot about that. He was promising a monthly stimulus check. We need to do this and feed our people. Yeah, none of that happened.
Mm.
Instead, all that money he promised the people of America is walking out the back door to UK.
So I mean, why do you think that happens? Is they paying for protection, or is it like what is it?
I don't know why it happened, but I know BRICS is happening.
Mm,
That's what I
mm,
do know. Them ditching the US dollar. That's what I do know is happening. So yeah, things gonna start. Look, that $1 ain't gonna be $1 pretty soon. That $1 gonna be like 70 cents.
Mm.
Yeah, whole
But I
different. But
mean, if you think about it, like Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, ain't shit getting higher year by year? So that's already devaluating the dollar right there, because like things that used to cost $1 now cost $8.
yeah,
A
yeah,
bottle of water.
250, about 350,
Look,
depending on
Jake,
where you.
Yeah,
you said you
what's
went
going on?
to you went to that concert, and you said they had water in a can. How much
Canned
was that
water,
water in a can?
$5 for a 16-ounce can of water.
Nah,
You
man.
shitting me?
I could buy a
You
case.
shitting me?
I could buy a 40 pack of water for $5.
Mm-hmm. Hey, did y'all know? Lifetime hack. If you really, really want to, if you pay attention to the coating on these water bottles, especially the Walmart brand, it says after you use, you can bring it back and get a whole nother pack on them because it's recycled. But nobody does it because people are so embarrassed. One of these days, I'm gonna take that whole case of drunken bottles and take it back and say, I need my new pack because you keep telling me if I bring this back with my receipt, I get a new one for
Hold
free.
on, wait a minute. I ain't never heard that.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually a dude that does it. I came across the video and I said, man, one of these days I'm gonna here we go. This brand right here, the Great Value. Like if you pay attention to it, it'll tell you like you can bring it back and they'll replace it. Let me see. Where is it on here? I'm gonna see if I can actually show it if it
That's
says it.
crazy. I ain't never look.
One of these days I'm gonna do it. I can't turn my dang, I don't know how to turn my camera. Let me see right quick. But anyways, I'm gonna just read it right here. It says return the package for replacement or money back.
Mm, we
So
been bamboozled.
yeah,
All
you
this
don't
water we've been drinking. Like, hold
have
on. This is a. I ain't gonna shout them out, but this is like a great value. You know, 'cause look. I can't shout you out. We're not getting paid, so sorry. But
Yeah.
let's see if this say one. Okay, nah. Quality guarantee. Gave you a number. Um. Report product. No. Nah, they ain't got it on this one. Look,
okay.
whatever store brand this is, look, I need y'all to do better because I need to get my free case, man. Y'all need to catch up, man.
Yeah, it says return the package for replacement or money back. And the dude drinks all his water and bring it back with the package and get a replacement.
Mm,
He just
look,
following it. That's what it says.
but now
Yeah.
that makes me wonder, like anything for free, even if you bring it back, like I don't know, it's kind of shaky because you know, me watching that video or that movie, they clone Tyrone, got me thinking about a lot of stuff that we be using and drinking and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like also like this dude, he made a valid point. He said if something costs $2 or $1, why would you eat that? He said these people they go to McDonald's, they buy all this cheap, fast, quick food. And he's like, do you know what they put? Like, look, okay, so boom. I was watching this video and I told baby to send it to me, whatever. But this man, he was talking about Popeye's chicken sandwich and
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. And he was saying allegedly, this is what he was saying, that they put chemicals, they put some it's about 23 chemicals in Popeye chicken sandwich. And then they said Chick-fil-A, it has like 48. 43, chemicals in it that have you coming back and wanted that. That's why everybody was going crazy. People were getting shot, people was getting killed over a
Yep.
Popeye chicken sandwich. And he was saying, he was wondering like, what's driving these people crazy like that? And he found out like they were putting chemicals in the chicken sandwich. Also with Chick-fil-A, allegedly. Like, I
That's
don't know
why I
how I
was.
feel. And they were saying this is and they look, and he said they stopped putting the recipe out there because at first, they had the recipe for the Popeye chicken sandwich in a Chick-fil-A. And he said once he started talking about it, you can't find the recipe for the Chick-fil-A or the Popeye chicken sandwich nowhere.
Yeah, they were
Like,
sold out for a minute.
Yeah.
and the thing
Yeah.
is, you think they put stuff in our food to get us addicted to it?
I think.
Do
I
you
think.
also know why the McDonald's hamburger is so cheap?
Why?
It's from government subsidies. The government spends money itself to make meat products cheaper. So I'm just reading something here. This is from 2022. So last year, a pound of meat would have cost $30. But because of government subsidies, them spending $38 billion subsidizing meat and dairy industries, it brought the price of meat down from $30 a pound to $5 a pound.
Mm.
So that's the reason that meat is so cheap. So it's one of those things that kind of makes you wonder why, like you're saying, why is it so cheap? So not only we can't really blame McDonald's. It kind of goes up above them. You know what I mean? So it says here a Big Mac would cost $13 if it weren't for government subsidies. But instead they cost $5. Instead of hamburger meat costing 30 a pound, it's $5 a pound. So it's kind of a wild thing to see. But yeah,
So it's
that's
kind of like, it's kind of like the dope game. You got this pure dope, and to make more money, you got to step on it.
mm-hmm.
You got to add, some chemicals to it, baking soda, some other stuff. I don't know all the ingredients. I've never been in that lane, so I never know that
Yeah.
type of stuff. But allegedly, I heard, you could put some stuff in there, like some
People
paint
say
thinner and some other. Look, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but it seems
I
like
saw it
that's
on
what they
TV one
doing with
time.
the meat. They stepping on the meat. They stretching the meat, and we're
Yeah.
buying it and consuming it.
I saw a video where it was like they're pumping meat with full of water to make it expand. Like they have it where they pump it up as high pressure water just being shot into the meat, but who knows, man?
Man, because you know
I
what,
think
I'm not gonna hold you that, man. Like that video, I believe like in every movie there's some truth to it, you know. And for me watching that video, them dudes breaking down, the chicken sandwich and stuff like that, like, are we at risk of going out and eating, or is it better for us to stay at home and eat and cook? Because it seems like food with mass production, they stretching it, and we really don't even know what they put in there. We just go to these restaurants and eat it.
I think it's almost worth paying that extra money for that clean meat. If it really is clean. They say organic. Grass fed. If that's true, maybe it is worth paying that extra bit, because then you ain't you're getting real cleaner stuff, and it's not mass produced. Because the reason they have to pasteurize cow milk is because of how nasty and sick all these cows are from being cooped up together. Farmers, if you had your own cow, you had one cow on your land, and that cow was kept in a clean area, you don't have to pasteurize its milk. You can drink raw milk. The reason raw milk is illegal is because it has to be pasteurized. The government says it has to be pasteurized. And yeah, if you're drinking milk from the grocery store, it has to be pasteurized, which is where they get it to a certain temperature to kill all the germs in there. And that's because all these cows in these stockyards are sick. You know, they're animals should not be kept in those kind of conditions. So
Allegedly.
allegedly, you know, somebody said on TV one time I heard, but that's that's one of those things, man.
But you know what? To
I
go
think,
back to that topic,
yeah,
so if they can control the weather, and you
mm,
saying now they do it for crops and stuff like that. So if they putting these chemicals in the air to make it rain,
mm,
you got to think about, okay, the chemicals that they forming it to rain is coming down onto the crops.
into the crops, into the waterways. We still don't even know what the long-term effects of cloud seeding are. You know, what does that mean if we start making it rain here in one state, or if we just make it rain more in our country in general, which is, let's go ahead and jump to China. China, real quick. And this is what we're talking about cloud seeding for. China has cloud seeding generators they have cloud seeding farms. And one of their cloud seeding farms is so large, it takes up the space of Spain. That if you were to take all these generators and put them into Spain, it would take up all of Spain. That's how big of an area they're going to use to try to fill one of their rivers. Because they're also at war with India. One of the things they're doing, they're trying to dam up some rivers. India don't like that either. So that's another big issue. But China, this is world changing. If this is real, this is world changing. If this is happening, because we don't know what happens if you just make it rain a little bit in one state. We got 8 states in the United States that use this technology to make it rain on their crops. What happens if you take an entire country's worth of space to make it rain? What is that going to do to the earth as a whole? That may zap water from the other side of the world. So that's yeah.
Y'all saw Antarctica is Austin. Flowers is starting to bloom. The
Now,
temperature
what you say again? Can you repeat that?
Antarctica is starting to heat up and the flowers are starting to bloom.
Mm.
They said that's not a good thing.
Mm.
So
I
is that
mean,
a byproduct?
so it losing its temperature.
Yeah, it's starting to heat up. Antarctica probably below freezing down there. But
Mm-hmm.
like icebergs has been breaking apart. They say got flowers blooming on the land now. Like it's supposed to be untouchable, unreachable, but now people can actually step up on it, and
Mm.
be all right almost. So it's not really good.
Mm.
But they
So,
don't talk about that because there's so much going on in the world.
mm. Like that
Man,
that just leave me with a lot of questions. Like, what are we not being told, or why is everything kept such a secret from the American people or from the world? Like, even like this, like you said, now they got information now about them messing with the weather. Now it's public knowledge, but you know how long they were probably manipulating the weather before it really actually got out.
so people have been manipulating the weather since before the United States was a country. I mean,
Mm.
there's they found medieval writing of them shooting cannons into the clouds and using rain during warfare in those times, that they would,
Mm.
in a certain cadence and on timed intervals, they would shoot cannons into clouds so that they could create a thumping up there. That's what they didn't know what they were doing. They just knew they were creating a thumping in the clouds, and it was making it cause rain, and they were raining on their enemies to cause flooding. So, you got horses breaking ankles, they're slowing down. You can't move your, cannons into place. You can't move your trebuchets into place. You can't move your people across here to fight us. So you're stuck out there in the swamps, It's been going on since before we've known and had, this kind of stuff. So it is insane. So just think, if what bigger than that, not how long have we been using this technology. So you got to think, this technology has been around since ancient time.
Mm-hmm.
What other technology from ancient time are they using that we don't know about?
Time.
What you say, man?
Time travel.
Time travel.
Yeah, seriously.
Look, I think that's a real thing, though.
Yes, like the conspiracy and different things, like modern cell phones was captured in some 1886 pictures. Like a dude was taking a photo,
and the guy that caught him was on one of these.
Yeah.
How does that happen? He's recording him on one of these deals on this old camera, and that dude's got an iPhone in the background.
So it was like modern time travel.
That's crazy. That's why I say into these movies, there's a little truth in everything. But that's kind of crazy if they can really try time travel, though. Like that is amazing to me. Like, what have they changed and what haven't they not changed?
I think if you do enough research, you find that most major countries and cities and states are just built on top of old, major, and ancient civilizations. So, we build over things. People die out, they find these crazy things, and they live there, and they build on top of it. And we've been doing that forever. I think that's just another. People that get there first, they get whatever they find. And I think that's why all these governments do book burnings and, hide history and rewrite history so that it stays hidden history. Back in Syria, they were blowing up mosques and temples and burning ancient scrolls. They were burning knowledge. So now, 2 generations from now, when kids grow up and they look back on history, it only goes as far back as the Taliban. Nothing existed before the Taliban. So they have, you have no history. If you have no history, you only know what's left over. And I think it's been going on forever. It's still going on now.
Yeah, I mean, what'd you say, Mr. ATM?
Yeah, the Taliban ain't it, boy. They almost like Tashfiri. They some malicious. The Tashfiri is malicious, bro, and they rowdy about that action. Had a couple of run-ins with them when I was over there. It was pretty cool. We was all able to walk home and talk about it, but laugh about it then.
Yeah.
Salah.
Yeah.
Look. But it is.
Look, do you think you could take the top gangsters from America and take them over there? You think they can survive?
Boy, they'll be crying. Because they'll think they had it. They'll think they were tough. And still had that tough boy act until they saw what it was over there. Yeah, that tough boy gonna have to come to kick into some survivals type.
Man. Oh, I think they took away ATM, man. Look, we were talking too much deep shit, man. they ain't got Mr. ATM. Look, we said allegedly. Like, man, come on, give us a break. We said allegedly. We don't know if this shit is true or not. We just reported what we heard. Get those people.
Hold on.
So, man, just jumping back on talking about shooting these chemicals into the sky. One of the main chemicals that they use is silver iodide.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the biggest problem with silver iodide is to the waterways. It kills fish, and other aquatic
Mm.
animals. So that's the biggest problem with silver iodide. And they do know that it can fall through the rain over time. So maybe not on that first rain, but over time it will fall and it will end up in the waterway. So it's we've been hearing a lot about the major amounts, thousands and thousands of fish washing up at sea at one time, or all these whales beaching themselves at one time and killing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say, it could be a number of things, but this project that China's running right now, whether they're trying to or not, it is geoengineering. It's allegedly called the Sky River. That's the name of their plan. That's the name of what they're running. It's on the Tibetan Plateau, but it's one of the largest weather manipulation projects that's ever been ran. And yeah, they say that it's covering an area the size of Spain with thousands of fuel burning chambers that are going to blast that silver iodide into the atmosphere. So it's gonna force a bunch of rain. They're going to try to catch all this rain and dam it up so that they can start growing more crops in certain areas of China, because China's got all kinds of different areas. They've got forests, cities, and deserts. And they're trying to grow. They're trying to grow back trees and other crops in those deserts. But it's not the first time governments have done this. During the Olympics, they even used them to clear the weather for the opening ceremonies, because they have terrible smog there, and the pollution is horrible. So whenever they ended up having the Olympic Games there in 2008, they shot rockets and artillery into the sky so that they could push the clouds and all the smoke and smog and pollution out of the skies to make it look like they had clear skies. But they just basically blasted it away.
Damn. But my problem is, if you keep messing with Mother Nature and throwing out the balance of life, like that's why so much fucked up shit that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricanes, and like you messing with Mother Nature, like you messing with something that you ain't supposed to be messing with.
She's gonna
and you
bug
trying to
back. It's
control
gonna
it.
be bad. Yeah.
Look, with the weather, messing with the weather also causes effect of messing with the people mood swings, they mental health, all that stuff. I think like what is it actually doing to affect the people? Like we thinking there's rain falling on us, but it's some scientific type of little doodle bug that just gonna bring us down into more depression. Like, have y'all noticed depression on the rise?
Yeah,
Like
you ain't lying.
into some sunken places lately. So I don't know. Yeah.
Man, like that ain't look, you talking some shit because I know when I was a little kid, I used to like to play out there in the rain falling. I have my mouth open, snow falling out of the sky. I got my mouth open, catching snowflakes and shit. And that shit has chemicals in it. Like I remember my mother back in the days making ice cream out of snow. And we used to eat the shit. Oh man, like I now like that's some of the most nastiest shit. Like it's just coming to me like that is some of the most nastiest gross shit to put a bucket outside to let it collect snow and turn it to ice cream and eat it. Oh,
Hey, you didn't know.
look, that is wild. Like, come on,
Hey,
Tavoye, will you do that now?
nah, I ain't even do it.
Look, that is some wild shit. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I remember those days outside playing in the rain, rolling around in water and shit. We was young. We didn't have what we have now. Shit, we had great imaginations.
Yes, you
But you
did.
know what? That's slowly, like you say, that's slowly drifting away. Kids don't have imaginations no more.
Like they
Don't have
drill,
to.
now it's drill. It would be drill rappers.
Look, it's no imagination. Look, this might sound crazy. Like, look, I'm very transparent, y'all. Forgive me, but I used to play with pens. You know, like they were Power Rangers, take them apart, and it's morphin time, and put them together, and like I had an imagination out of this world. These kids don't have that.
No.
You go tell them to go to their room, they got toys full of toys, and they just sit in their room and like,
I'm bored.
yeah, like you bored. You got all this stuff and you bored. Like I had less than. I had pens. I would play with pens.
Holding up paper to make footballs and
Look, I created my own entertainment. And you telling me these kids got rooms full of toys and they talking about they bored?
I always say they bored. They got nothing to do.
it's a different time, man.
Look, but I mean, it all makes sense. Controlling the weather, what they put in the food, the chemicals that's falling on the ground. Like we can't even be vegetarians because what the chemicals they put into the oh man, come on.
It's everything,
What are
man.
we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Man, I think the only thing you can do, I think everybody has to research how to take a small section of, a quarter of a backyard, a very small area, and just grow vegetables. I don't think it takes much at all. I think we got to get back to moving a little further away from cities, spreading out a little bit, and we all start learning to take care of ourselves a little bit more. I think everybody's just too dependent, and when too many people become dependent, I think that becomes a real problem. But I don't know, even thinking about that, it's not like you can go hunt and kill your own deer now because chronic wasting disease is a huge problem. So you got zombie deer running around. So I don't know. I don't know what you do anymore.
Look, and the thing is, we as Americans begin lazier and lazier. Now I go to the store and buy naked fruit, so I don't have to peel it, or I go to the store and buy naked fruit, so I won't have to peel the shit. Like that's some lazy ass shit. Like I don't, and then the fruit be tasting kind of like no watermelon. Nah, this ain't no good watermelon. I don't know what this is, but I don't know. Shit, it's skinless. I didn't know if they cut it up or not.
Man, they just grew it that way.
Look. So man, hey man, I ain't gonna hold you. It's a lot of stuff that you didn't put on my mind today, man. Even just them controlling the weather, seeing. And the thing is, look, I got one more thing before we get up out of here, though, man. How did they know by shooting cannons in the sky? Like they must look, Mr. ATM.
Yeah,
They had to be smoking some good shit back then.
Chemistry,
Because
man.
like that sound like some hot shit. Like I wonder if I shoot this cannon in the sky and see what they do. Boom! Oh, it's starting to rain. And like that sounds like some hot shit that you would do. Like who think about shooting a cannon in the sky just to see what the fuck it's gonna do? Like
Yeah, you either high, you got too much money, and too much time on your hands, or all three.
Look. And I guarantee they was on some good stuff, because that is something that you just randomly think like, oh, wonder, like, me shoot this up in the sky and see. And the thing is, it had to be a big cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can reach the clouds,
existed.
because they ain't like you can just reach up and touch the clouds and shit.
Nah,
Like that shit had to be a powerful cannon.
Hey, cannon's a cannon, man.
Look, shit. Man, that's crazy. But man, we here to this hour, man. Miss ATM, you got anything to say before we go ahead and get up out of here, man?
Man, life is good. Life be life and shit. Everybody keep their head on tight. Shit. When you think you're going down, just think about where you come from. Trust me, you'll be back right on top again.
Look, that's a fact. Once you start thinking about how these other people living in these other countries, and you really reflect on your life and how you living, like it really ain't that bad. It can
They're
be
humble.
worse. Yeah, be
It,
grateful.
very grateful.
Be,
Very grateful.
be
Be I wouldn't say be humble because I ain't. I'm
look
grateful.
right
That's it.
fact.
That's it. Grateful.
Look,
Yeah. Much better.
because look,
Yeah.
I like where I stay at. I be driving down the street and I see all these homeless people sleeping under the bridge and stuff like that. They begging for food and not knowing what the next day gonna bring. And
Right.
every day, I'm able to sleep in a nice, comfortable bed with a beautiful woman every night. And a lot of people may feel like, and the thing is, sometimes I take that for granted. But when I start looking at other people that's in worse situations than I am, and I started thinking, I'm like, okay, life ain't that bad. You know, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how hard life is, what I think it is, it's someone that's living life a little bit harder. You know, so whenever I get in those mindset, like man, fuck this shit, whatever. I think about, okay, what about that person on the bridge? This summer it was hot. You shouldn't me. It was hot this summer, and they sleeping under the bridge. No AC, no fan. That's
Torching,
thugging.
making it happen. You know,
Man, be
so
grateful. Be grateful for the things you have, man. Like really, like people. I'm telling y'all, life is not that bad. No matter how bad you think it is, it's someone that got it 10 times worse.
Real.
I love to say this too. For people that like to say, man, I can't do this, I can't do that. If you got a dream that you wanted to go for it. Because while you sitting there talking about, oh, I ain't got the skill set, god damn it, they didn't either, but they worked their ass off and got there. You got to be consistent every damn day if you're trying to get somewhere in life.
Look, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, get off your ASS
And
and get
get.
some cash. You know,
For real.
get off your ASS and get some cash. Like, look, and this one dude, look, I'm gonna tell you this quick story. I was at Walmart, you know, and this man, I didn't know what was going on. I just heard the alarm. Do, 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 do. What the fuck is going on? And I'm looking, and this dude, he's running out the exit with two Pampers, with his head down. Just he didn't give a fuck. He was on a mission. And a dude that was there, he told me he was a cop for 30 years, and he was like, "Them people should just get a job. That's a shame. Just get a job." And I'm thinking, like, yeah, but you know how hard it is time people have jobs and have a hard time today, you know? And then like he was just taking unnecessary. He took Pampers. So that means his child was in need. So he did whatever he felt that was necessary to make sure his kids had some Pampers. He risked his life. Anything could have happened. He could
Right.
have caught with the security guard, tussling with the security guard. He could have got shot. It's a lot. There's a lot of scenarios. He could have went to jail, got caught and went to jail. But he said his kids needed those Pampers more than he worried about his freedom or his safety or anything. He had to do what he had to do. And sometimes, I take that mentality. I'm like, man, look, I be sitting back waiting. I'm like, man, I could have did this today. I could have did that. I mean, I need to get my ass up and do something. He got up and did something. He didn't wait till someone cashed out him some money. he didn't go and wait for no loan. He went there and got it. So
Mm-hmm.
with us as American people, when are we gonna get up and go get it by any means?
Right.
A lot of people say there's a lot of variables. Oh man, I couldn't do this because of that. I couldn't do this because of that. Man, that man didn't care about those variables.
Yeah, there's always a path.
Look, I'm gonna make my. He said I will make my own path.
Mm-hmm.
So you hey, like you said, Mr. ATM, hey, we have to get up there and get it. And failure is not an option. He didn't think. Look, it's one thing and two things. I can tell you what he was thinking. He wasn't thinking about getting caught. That wasn't in his
Yeah.
mind frame. He was thinking about I got this mission. I'm gonna go do this mission and go home, and my kids gonna have some pampers. Failure wasn't an option. So why do we think failure is an option when we want to try to get some things going on?
because we're
Oh,
too
this
big.
might happen. This might happen. No, we can't think about that. Failure is not an option.
We too up on ourselves because we say, they are doing it. Ain't nobody deal with me. Well, you just shot yourself in the foot because you
Mm,
already saying that ain't nobody gonna deal with you because you don't want to deal with you. Until you
look,
can
that
deal with yourself, you'll be able to deal with everybody.
look. Get up and go get it, man. We had our 2 hour mark. Hey, Jake, you got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Man, I'm sorry, YouTube. You know, let us make it. Let us make it. You can keep episode 7. Just let us make it. You know.
Look, ATM, they
So,
took episode number 7 from us. I don't even have it no more.
Okay, yeah, they can go ahead and have it, yeah, because I did put it out there saying that was the episode that got us kicked down for a while. So like, people started going to go check it out. They had to go pull it, take it off.
Look, that 18 got us stricken. We can't talk about the 18 no more, man.
yeah, yeah. So we'll keep it. Yeah, we'll keep it there. You know. Sorry, YouTube.
But hey, man, we're going ahead and gonna get up out of here. Hey, Mr. ATM, go ahead and give your handle and tell people where to follow you and what you represent and what you got going on.
Again, it's your boy TM214. Also T Youngblood. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. That is my Instagram line. I am not proud owner of GSC. I am retired. Poet and at 33. Even though I'm 34 now. Uh, I just enjoy life, have fun, and teach people how to retire their boss pretty early too, just like me.
Okay. And we got Jay, Jigsaw Jay on the ones and twos. Go ahead and give your handle. Your handle is very short, but go ahead and give your handle.
Man, listen, man. I'm here. You know, everybody can catch me here. I'm gonna keep it low. I'm not. I'm hiding out. You know, if I get on anything else, I'll end up getting that shit taken down. So I'm gonna stay right here.
For sure. And man, and y'all already know what it is. Hold on. Let me. Okay. I'm trying to point. Here we go. TK the poet, you already know, so you ain't got to quote it. If I spoke it, you already know what that means. Y'all wrote it. It's Black Room Media, 10 for your cap. Until next time, we out this mug. I appreciate everybody to tune in. Hey, you too, go to Black Room Media. Check out all the podcasts that we have going on. Man, check out our old shows, our old episodes, and just catch up on what we got going on. And again, it's Jigsaw Jake, ATM 214. Hey, we got to go now. Let's go.
Like, share, subscribe.
All that good shit, man. Don't forget. So hey, sometimes I forget, but hey, we out.